Hey guys, I'm Mac, and today I want to talk about World of Warcraft and the 5 things they're changing in their new expansion, Legion, as well as future expansions to make the game not as bad as it has been in recent times, of course in my opinion. Now, I haven't gotten into the beta because I wasn't blessed by Lord Metzen to see access to his magical realm, but based off released media I feel like I'm able to accurately construct some ideas on this. I also think it's worth mentioning that I'm not a die-hard World of Warcraft player, so if I get some small facts wrong, please excuse me. Number 5. Artifact Weapons. I know when this was first being presented by Blizzard, I laughed and said, looks like they're bringing another gimmick into WoW. But after looking more into the artifacts and what they could do for each character, I think they're a bit cooler than what they were when they first presented to us. For a brief background of what artifact weapons are, they're basically legendary weapons used by heroes of the Warcraft universe, and now you have the opportunity to take up their weapons and fight against the Legion. For example, a Death Knight tank would take up the Shattered Frostmourne and turn it into a two-handed weapon again, while a Frost Death Knight would turn it into two blades to wield in each hand. I'm assuming this is excluding casters because no matter what they're casting, and they're not using the new legendary weapon. However, there are all types of variations on these weapons depending on what you unlock and the class and specialization for you, and I think it's a nice twist that to add into WoW. Makes you feel like you're part of something awesome, until you go into Stormwind and see 800 Ashbringers, of course. Now this still might be a gimmick, but I'm more interested than I was to see where Blizzard runs with this idea, and I really hope it's executed correctly. Number 4. Demon Hunters. It's been a while since Blizzard has created a new hero class, and our next attempt at this is the Demon Hunter, a wicked cool looking class with a load of new mechanic ideas. I'm not going to go into the lore of the Demon Hunters, but here's Noble87 coming with some more awesome lore behind them. The reason I find this class so intriguing is because it seems to be the first class aimed at an area of effect damage. The more enemies a Demon Hunter is working with, the more powerful they are, and it's definitely a slightly new concept for an entire class to be revolving around. They also have the most character customization of any race or class, allowing you to change not only individual markings, but the color of each marking, and the bandanas, and etc. All in all, I think the Demon Hunters are a really cool, intuitive idea, and I'm really excited to see where Blizzard runs with it. It can be a really powerful foe to go against if done correctly. Number 3. Suramar. Suramar is Blizzard's 110 only zone that will be a bit different than what they've already made in the past. I'm not going to go in depth as to the lore of this region, but if you want to take a look at the lore behind it, go ahead and check out this outstanding video by Noble87 by clicking here. Suramar is an optional 110 zone that is aimed at players looking for an endgame content outside of either raiding or jumping directly into the PvP fray. However, if you're looking to get geared, this is not the place to go. If you're looking to get massive amounts of money, you do not want to go to Suramar. If you're looking for a great immersive zone to simply get lost in and envelop yourself in a story when you have some free time, maybe waiting for some guildies to catch up to 110, or you're just bored on a late night, Suramar is definitely the place to go, with hundreds of new quests, different great endgame content, and just an awesome, fun 110 endgame experience overall. Again, from what I've seen from not being in the beta. Number 2. Immersive leveling. Let's face it, leveling in WoW is a drag, especially in its current state. There's no struggle, no immersion, no need for anything besides scheduling a few hours to sit through dungeon spamming and boring rotations, or going into a zone for 30 minutes until you outlevel that zone and have to move on. However, through 1 through 100 leveling experience will continue to be this horrendously repetitive slog, but this is trying to make leveling fun again when you reach Legion's content, where zones aren't, say, level 100 to 102 or 103, but they scale depending on your leveling, which makes me really jazzed, and making getting really immersed into a zone and thoroughly enjoying a zone for everything it has to offer really possible, and I personally cannot wait to experience this in Legion. Number 1. Class Overhaul. The reason that this makes number 1 on my list is because in Warlords, every class was kind of washed down. Look in your spellbook, drag down the recommended spells, and put them in rotation with ever so slight deviation depending on the circumstances. This got boring really fast, especially since this is not only what you did to level, but what you did at endgame as well. With Legion's new class overhaul, Blizzard is going back through a lot of the things that they washed down with their classes, namely spec distinction, and making sure that every spec feels different and special, and giving players more play options to make sure that WoW is no longer just a 1-2 button spam. At the moment, playing a certain class is all the same. For example, Frost Mages, at least the last time I played one, were the top of the DPS and survivability for their class, so almost every other spec was rendered completely useless since they offered nothing that a Frost Mage really couldn't do. Being able to see different distinctions, such as a Frost Mage from an Arcane Mage, is really cool to see, and to see how their spells and usefulness is going to change depending on what spec they are at the time. It's very exciting to me, and I cannot wait to see how it plays out, and I especially hope that this turns out balanced, making sure that no class is more powerful than the other and no spec is more powerful than others, so there's no automatic bias. Thank you so much for watching. If you disagree with my top 5, go ahead and post a comment telling me why, I'm sure to reply. And if you found this video interesting, feel free to drop a like, and if you hated it, drop a dislike, I don't care. Subscribe for more content like this, and until next time, my friends.